Sunday night. Hello and welcome back for another live stream on the channel. Tonight we are back with another latest live of Sky Bet League One. Plenty of games to go through and bumper match week. Lots of goals. A game on Thursday night and then 11 more on Saturday to go through as well. Plenty of goals, plenty of action. Jake, how are you?
I'm good, mate. The man's been sacked. The man's been sacked. Come on.
What do you reckon he's doing with his inheritance?
His payoff.
Money.
Ordering the biggest McDonald's anyone's ever ordered. Sorry.
He's not
Steve.
that big.
No, he's not. You're right. No, he's enormous. How am I fit? I'm a lot better than what I was 24 hours ago. I've just played you a voice note when I walked back into my flat from Wycombe. I'm still not 100%, but you know what? We do it for the content, don't we? We love it because we do it because we love it. So, I'm good, mate. I'm glad to see you. Glad to hear you. Obviously, you're coming off a good win yourself, so you're full of beans, aren't you? Normally, this time last year it was the other way around. So it's what comes around goes around. Just remember, everybody. This week, if you remember this time last week, me and Ben, Ben said it, that we hope people have got bingo cards for for the show. So if you're playing bingo along at home, let us know. I've got a couple of bingo cards in front of me. Looking forward to it. So hello everybody, hope you're okay, and we're looking forward to it, mate.
Glad. Hopefully you've all had a good weekend at the football. Let me know where you were as well. Won't go too much into my game because that is League Two, and we don't cover that on this channel. But decent weekend overall, other than footballing matters as well. Made plenty of content today as well. Decent quiet day. So yeah. Hello and hello to all mothers as well on Mother's Day as well. Including my own as well. So, hopefully you all have a lovely day as well.
Nice, mate.
Not to quote Roy Keane or anything, but it's the job. Cards, present. It's the job. But other than that, hello, Luca. Good to see you yesterday. Hello, Parmex. Nice little weekend off. Hello, Chris. Up the bingo. Hello, Anne-Marie.
I was just talking about Anne-Marie to JJ. So hello, Anne-Marie. Hope you're well.
Oh, lovely. Oh, absolutely lovely. So we will get into it. We will go through the games. Now, I didn't see any League One scores until probably about 5:10 yesterday, until I get connection. Really good press box yesterday, by the way. Can I just say? Comfy seats. Papa John's. Luxury team sheets, luxury everything, brilliant, really, really good as well. Rotherham 0, Crawley 4. I read that and I had to take my glasses off, and then I couldn't see the score, so I had to put the glasses back on just to double check. Crawley Town, Rotherham 0, Crawley Town 4. Crawley now won consecutive games without conceding for the first time since February 2024, where they went on a run of 3. While their 4-0 win is their joint biggest winning margin within the EFL. Scott Lindsay is back, and 2 wins in 2 is what has followed. A departure of Steve Evans has also followed this morning. Chance of we want Evans out evaded 8,000 home supporters announced in attendance. A brilliant performance. Kamari Doyle at the double. Houlihan with also a goal, and Pashut Kamara adding a 4th. Doyle has been outstanding in recent weeks as well. Junior Turner, the former Waterford man, put in a great display, I thought, as well. He hit the block off the line.
I've got to tell you something about Junior Turner, because I saw him yesterday and spoke to him about you.
Hang on a minute, right, hang on. Right, we'll carry on first.
Carry on first, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, God. A great performance for Crawley.
For Crawley. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Crawley. Kamari Doyle, outstanding. What a signing he has been, and what a lift this Scott Lindsay era has done. They've just kind of launched a new initiative to kind of, I think it's fight for survival. 4 games for 60 quid to get the gates over 100,000 within the stadium, which will be a new record for them as well. Their supporters are dreaming 6 points away from safety with games that they feel they could get something from. This Crawley side never say die. The biggest surprise was last year them getting up through the playoffs, but this could be one more as well. They've got some tough games to come. However, they'll fancy the chances with Peterborough, Stevenage, Leyton Orient, Exeter, Northampton and Shrewsbury, but also the small matter of Birmingham to come away from home as well.
Oh, that's the easiest game then, isn't it? Blues away.
It could be. They could have already won the league by then, so you never know.
Do you want to know how I was speaking about?
I'm scared now. What's he taking me off for?
No. So don't worry. So I was coming home from Wycombe yesterday, and I'm sure you know his tradition. Especially if we go down South Bend, there's a specific service station that we stop at. It's called Leicester Forest East, right? It's only about an hour and 10 minutes away from Lincoln, 45 minutes. So as we pulled in, I was walking over to the KFC because, cheat day on Saturday, go get the KFC. And coming the other way were the Crawley Town players. And I was like, crikey, okay, wasn't expecting this. So the one I wanted to look at for was Toby Malarkey because I wanted to tell him about his, he's a TikToker a bit like you, Ben. So I wanted to get you some advice. But
what did you say to him?
I didn't see him until he ended up going down the far right. I didn't quite see him until it was too late. The first player I saw was Tyrese John Jules, obviously ex-Lincoln. So I know that's a tick for David. So I started singing his song, "Si Senor, give the ball Tyrese," and he was score. He remembered it straight away, looked over, thumbs up, fantastic. And then I was ordering a KFC, and I saw this little man in a red tracksuit, and I thought, all right, which Crawley player that is? Junior Turner. Stood about 3.5 feet, 308 from it. No. In fairness to him, he was having a Taco Bell, but Charlie Barker was ordering a KFC with a couple more. And I think what's his name? Bradley Ibrahim. He was there. He was cutting about, just having a KFC. Anyway, Junior Turner. I turned to him and said, "Do you know what, mate? You gave us. I remember you playing for Fleetwood a couple of years ago. You gave us a bloody nightmare. You were that good." And he said, "Yeah, I appreciate that." I said, "Yeah, my mate Nappers, he absolutely loves you. Like he absolutely," and he goes, "Oh, Nappers, yeah, Nappers, yeah, I know him, yeah." I said, "Yeah, he's a good lad, isn't he? Yeah." And we just bonded over both knowing Ben Natman. So Junior Turner, Ben,
not bad for a former Waterford man.
Not
good
bad.
Lad. He was great at Waterford, unbelievable at Waterford.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, back on yesterday, I mean, I didn't have much chance to talk.
He was outstanding. Honestly, I watched the extended highlights. He was absolutely outstanding. And that was him. Scott Lindsay's come back in and given the license to run at players, take players on. And he got an assist. He looked lively. And he's going to be crucial if this Crawley side are going to stay up.
And I tell you, the other man that's going to be crucial, Ben, and someone that I would expect to maybe be at this level again next year, Kamari Doyle. I think that's now 9 goal involvements in his last 15 games for Crawley. Obviously, 2 goals yesterday. On loan from Brighton, he's so talented, isn't he? Like the way he carries the ball, the way he drives. It's finished. I think he finished for his first one where he gets the ball from the edge of the box and sort of hits it in the far corner is outstanding. And Crawley have actually got a chance now, haven't they? Everyone, we sort of said when we looked at the bottom 4 a couple of weeks ago, Shrewsbury had a little bit where they picked up under Gareth Ainsworth. You had Cambridge when Neil Harris went in. They had a little uprising form, didn't they? Burton, when obviously JJ Dodson and John Daddy all went in, they sort of had a bit of a growth spurt. And we sort of said, well, I think it was after the game that we beat them. Well, Crawley haven't had that. And Scott Lindsay, obviously we spoke about him being the perfect appointment. It's come in. And I don't think he's stripped them back to basics. I think he's just stopped them playing stupid football. He stopped them playing tippy-tappy football around the back. And all of a sudden, they're a bit more direct. And they get the ball forward. And they score 4 really good goals yesterday. I mean, Rotherham, to be fair, were lacklustre, pathetic, as Sue said to me numerous times yesterday.
Can I just say, I'm so sorry. I must have used that word in commentary on a game I was at yesterday. I won't say the game because it's League 2. But honestly, I was ripping in to the home side. Yes, they say how flaky they are. They're a soft bunch, this lot.
Correct.
Tell you what, it felt so nice.
Yeah,
so
correct.
nice.
Well, let me tell you, Nappers. Sue had a go at me on the way home from Crawley for saying pathetic more than twice. Sue said it to me yesterday 3 times in the space of leaving the ground, and twice sat having a kernel. So to me, Susan, that is the overword of the overuse of the word.
For me, I think the overuse of the word of Lincoln being mentioned outside of the Lincoln game is also. I've not mentioned anything to do with my game yet.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
Yeah, well, you have, because you mentioned you're on commentary and you were calling the home.
So what game I was at. I could have been at Squires Gate yesterday.
Ben, wonder what game you were commentating on?
Squires Gate.
Blackpool Bolton. More likely.
Why that game?
Well, because it's round the corner from your house. It's closer to your house than Fleetwood, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't like either of the two sides, do I?
No, you love them. Right, yeah.
Do you think they're my favourites outside of Fleetwood?
No, because I know your favourite team is in League One. You did a TikTok on it, didn't you? Good lad. You know where your bread's buttered, or your flapjacks, or your shortbreads are buttered, don't you, Nappers? Good lad. Yeah, Ben, they're part of company with Steve Evans. I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I don't know. They've not really had the season Rotherham thought they were going to have, did they? They're just a little bit tepid. They've not really got an identity, and we were sort of. I think a lot of people bigged Rotherham up at the start of the season because they signed a load of players quite early off the door, didn't they? And all of a sudden, everyone, Rotherham will be back at the top end of this league, but they haven't been. Steve Evans has got no style of play, and they can be on the end of some really poor results. So, yeah, I'm shocked. Obviously, I'm happy that man no longer has a job because he's a criminal allegedly. But he's, I mean, Rotherham, for me, Ben, it just lines up for Paul Ward to go to Rotherham.
No, absolutely not. Don't.
I think he will.
I disagree there. I don't think while the chairman, is it Tony Stewart, is he called? Chairman?
Tony Stewart, yeah.
Right. I don't think while he's there, Paul Ward will return to the football club for many factors. I don't think he'll go anywhere near it. I thought possibly at first, but then you look at the deeper meaning, I don't think he'll go anywhere near it. I genuinely don't. Then you think, well, Ryan Lowe's been taken. Schumacher has now been taken. Unfortunately, Michael Appleton has been taken. So we need to talk about that. That's another thing we need to. We've not done a show since that. Jesus. Thought I was going to get my birthday off and bang, League One Bridge story. No, it's a football club that this year has been disastrous to watch. Sluggish, slow, lethargic. And what it feels like in the summer, they brought promotion winners. They brought winners that have done well elsewhere. I don't think they recruited a team to basically say, well, they're good at this and they're good at this, and a mould for an identity of, right, this is what they're going to do in this team. Well set up, well drilled, recruited well. I don't think they've recruited based on how they play as a footballer, based on numbers, the career statistics, how many games he play, etc. So I think that's where they've gone wrong this year. And you look at the squad yesterday. You look at Mpanzu, Sibley, Powell, Wilkes, Clark Harris. Not right. I was watching the extended highlights of this. Now I've always called Sam Nombe. Don't. They were calling him Sam Nom. So if any fans know that, is it Sam Nom or is it Nombe?
Well, what did you call him before?
Sam Nombe.
No.
Sam Nomble.
There we go. There you are, David. There's another one for you.
There you are. How many have you got so far?
You're welcome, David. Hold on. 1, 2, 3 for me. We've got a couple more, but I've got another name, Ben, for the Rotherham job that I'd like to get your perspective on.
Cool. No, so just let me go back to the thing. Promotion winners, but I don't think they recruit to a style. And look, Steve Evans' football is a style that has to win. Any style has to win. And to play in League One or League Two, and win games of football, you've got to be the best versions of yourself. Not to quote a certain manager that loves saying that, but you have, and I don't think they have been this season. They've been a bit disastrous to watch, direct into the channels, and Steve Evans football, when it wins, it's like, go on the big man, get in, Big Steve, he's ours, everybody hates him. Oh, we love the fist. Whereas when you lose, it's like, what is this? What's our club come to? And I don't think you should ever return to a football club. It never works, does it? And you've seen that. Maybe a little bit like, would you really have Danny Cowley back at Lincoln? Or would you just try and think, say again?
For the vibes, yeah.
Or would you leave it back in the past of what it was?
Well, it depends, really. Maybe Michael Duff might end up at Rotherham.
Yeah, I could see that. Yorkshire's he'd be doing a Yorkshire tour then, wouldn't he?
Exactly. Make a documentary film out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Educating Yorkshire.
What about Pato, mate? Your favourite
Before we
gaffer?
do, thank you so much, Shane. You legend. Appreciate it. See you again, mate.
What about Pato? I know you're a big believer of Mr. Pattinson.
No. Right. Is everything on the game that we've got? But yeah, great performance of Crawley. I love Scott Lindsay. I love his aura about him, and I love the way he joins in with the champ, where he ends with a Crawley.
He's got poor shoulder, isn't it? He winds it up.
Yeah.
Can you analyse his fist bumping technique for me, Ben? I know
this is a League One live show. Another team who also won 4-0 is Charlton 4, Huddersfield 0. Huddersfield now have lost 5 of their last 7 league games. They won the other 2, though, including 3 of their last 4 on the road. Matty Godden scored after 30 seconds against the Terriers, netting Charlton's earliest league goal since Callum Harriot's strike after 19 seconds in March 2016 against Brentford in the Championship. A superb victory. Charlton at it from the off. Normally, they're at it at the very end, but a gun-ho performance for the Addicts, which was their 20th victorious outcome of the season that took them to 69 points, 53 goals scored. That is 8 points clear of their opponents, who could have gone within 2 points yesterday if they would have won, and the playoff race would have looked a little bit differently. But in Charlton now, you think with 8 points off Wrexham, they are a playoff team with just a couple of more victories in there as well. A superb victory. Goals from Matty Godden, Tyrese Campbell adding 2, and an own goal by the Huddersfield keeper. A great day, a great performance. It had everything you wanted to see as well. 18 shots, scoring 4 goals, keeping a clean sheet. Nathan Jones, maybe doing what Nathan Jones does best.
What, winning games of football? Yeah. Look, Ben, I think to be fair, I think we've been pretty critical on Charlton when it comes to going forward. We've praised them very much going the other way, but going forward, perhaps they've left a little bit to the imagination this season. They've not had many games, bar the 5-0 away at Northampton, where they've absolutely battered teams. I remember they were winning early on in the season with XGs of 0.61 and 0.64 or whatever. To be honest, they just look very blunt. Whenever I've seen them, they've looked very blunt going forward. Whereas yesterday, everything clicked for them going forward. Like, I think you can copy and paste what I've said about Matty Godden before. Everything sort of stands there for his goal to set the tie up. Campbell, obviously, he's become a big part of this group now, hasn't he? He's really come through the academy and into the first team, and is making a statement to be playing as part of the championship hunting side. They were outstanding. Everything they did went going forward. They tore Huddersfield to shreds. I spoke to Huddersfield fan James, who said that the only players I think he said could come out of any credit was one was Joe Taylor, funnily enough. I think he said it was pretty poor. I also, Ben, obviously, I don't know what you make about this. Maybe we'll come on to it when we talk about Bolton, but Dion Charles pictured in the away end at Bolton, Blackpool yesterday. We'll
come on to that when we get to that game.
Well, but I know, but in terms
Can I just ask? Hang on a minute, right?
Yes.
Hang on, just let me get to this, right?
Who's he play for?
No, just let me finish, right? Great point.
For?
Really, yes, I know this, but he was at the Bolton game, and we could talk about it. Maybe you're just getting a bit sidetracked.
Yeah, but it relates more to Huddersfield, because you've got a player there that you've spent 750 grand on, and all of a sudden, I've not.
The players should be travelling.
Hey,
the players should be travelling, but maybe he was told he wasn't needed. Maybe told he.
Well,
you don't know.
It doesn't look right, does it? Certainly from a Huddersfield Town.
But if Huddersfield would have won, would there been any kickoff? No.
Well, I think so. Yeah, if
No, I
he's
don't think
fit,
there was.
if he's fit and available, then yeah, I think there
He's
probably would have
injured.
been. Hey,
He's injured.
is he? Do you know that for
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Well, he shouldn't be going
He's
to watch.
injured.
He should still not be going to watch his former employers. I think that's a little bit weird. It's like going to watch your ex at work, which I'm sure neither of us have ever done. Ben, I hope. Well, certainly I haven't. I hope you've never done it. I wouldn't know. But
I need an ex to do that too.
We'll put an ad in the paper for you, Nappers. Nappers wants to watch.
I've seen your ads, mate, on a certain dating app.
Have you? Yeah, well, I won't tell people what dating apps you're on because that might cause a stir. Yeah, it was a particularly decent win for Charlton. Huddersfield particularly poor, tepid. Same as what you can say about Rotherham. Yeah. Really, really poor from Huddersfield. Obviously, I've not seen it, so I don't know a massive amount about it. But yeah, Charlton just looking a little bit more ruthless than they were at the start of the season.
Sam, thank you very much for the donation, mate. My good friend from Lincolnshire. Brilliant performance. Now a lot happened this week. Now Birmingham City 4, Shrewsbury 1. Before we get to this, Gareth Ainsworth basically got a call from Gillingham and said, look, fancy the managerial position. Very weird that Coleman went in. And I always felt with Coleman, and I know this is League Two, but it'll get to the point of what I'm making. I always felt with Coleman, I think he's in his 60s now, going down there, it always never seemed right. And it never really felt that he was going to be there long term. So I think Gillingham have acted quickly they've looked at it and thought, this isn't right. They've seen people that maybe will be interested in the job. Ainsworth, I think geographically, and he said this, didn't he, being closer to home, he struggled being away from home, has helped him because you think of his previous jobs at Wycombe and QPR down south as well. And the takeover at Shrewsbury looks to be off. Do you think that basically he's been promised a false dawn that the takeover will be done, you'll be back next season, and he's basically a sin? You sometimes... I know this is on your bingo card.
It's a bit weird we're talking about me and you when it comes up for people seeing, considering we can't do anything.
What I'd say, I know it's on your probably bingo list. I'm just going to come and say it's a bit like, like when you get a talking stage and you see the best bits of the club and you agree to the terms and conditions and you agree to get into the relationship, right? And when you're in the relationship, it's so much different to the talking stage. That's what I would say to Gareth Ainsworth. Now he's in there at Shrewsbury. He's contracted. He's saying, oh, hang on. This ownership thing's nowhere near happening. Next year, I'm not going to get back. So it's worrying times for Shrewsbury, this. Like, I know, not forget yesterday, they were awful. I put them bottom of the league, Shrewsbury, by the way, just saying at the start of the year. And for this reason, I didn't really think they were well backed off the pitch. I didn't think they had the squad for it. I thought they were in a bit of a mess. Their turn to go down a little bit as well. The players had no idea. So the players had no idea. They found out on social media that Gareth Ainsworth left. It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it basically he's found out that Shrewsbury Town have got an ex-boyfriend that gave Shrewsbury a load of emotional baggage. That's what it stands out in my eye. I was very surprised. I mean, I think it was obvious when he went in there that he was promised that he'd be backed both in January and also the following summer. Therefore, I think it can be. I think it's understandable maybe why he's looked to jump ship, but clearly, I think Alan Nixon's today has reported, hasn't he, that the American takeover has fallen through. The period of exclusivity, we believe, ends tomorrow. Normally, if you're in a period of exclusivity, that it happens way before that period ends. So the fact that there's been no announcement, obviously the statement, didn't they, afterwards? I mean, there's pictures in the car park of Mickey Moore playing with Gareth to try and keep him. They tried to make him stay to the end of the season, but clearly he didn't want to go. Well, I know it's League Two related, Ben, but I think the Gillingham job in League Two is a bit more attractive than the Shrewsbury job in League Two, isn't it? Because without the investment, Shrewsbury are probably, if middle of the road, if not lower end League Two next season, in my opinion. Whereas Gillingham,
maybe thinks he could go back to back, and to be fair, the squad's not built for it. They're well off.
Well, there always seems to be one that might go back to back, isn't it? And
Scunthorpe did it. Forest Green,
Forest Green,
Carlisle are going to do it.
Carlisle might do it. Tranmere have done it before. Stockport have done it before. So they could easily find themselves back to back relegated. But Gillingham, at least what he knows of the Gallinsons is a little bit of investment, isn't there? There is, they're going to invest. They backed Mark Bonner in the summer, in my opinion. He just hasn't been able to get the best out of it. Because they went and got Chap Nolan, who had a great year at Accrington the year before. They went and got Elliot Nevitt, who scored 20 goals for Crewe the season before. And helped them get
talking to Kershaw about League Two here.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, this is why you say you like me, because I can talk about anything. So,
can I just stop you there?
You didn't say you liked me. Yeah, very good. Yeah. David. There you are, mate. I'll tell you what, mate, I'm just very good at playing the ball through. I've got great vision for a bloke with a buzz eye, Ella. Hey? It was I can understand it. I think from Gareth's point of view, if he believes the takeover is not going to happen, he's been promised false information, therefore he's sort of jumped ship. And for Shrewsbury fans, it looks a little bit distasteful. I think they're a little bit not bitter, but they're certainly not happy with it. But they've got a new head coach to focus on, Ben, and one that we both know pretty well. Obviously, he's taken charge of my club before. What did you make of? Were you actually? Let me rephrase it. Were you surprised that Michael's gone in to the Michael?
Not as an appointment, no, because I could see it. Very surprised till the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now that screams to me. Do you think that screams to you that it's basically waiting for a potential takeover? And
either that, or they've just given Mike Appleton all the power and said, "Come and manage us for 9 games so you can have a job, and then if you want the job in the summer, we'll do it. If not, you can walk away absolutely scot-free." Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, potentially. I don't think Michael Appleton's in a no-lose situation for 9 games, and he's got a job. He's back in the media presence, and while you're out of it, it's very hard to get a job. Like Dino Maria, to be fair, did a good job at Burton, and you probably would think he should be back in football in some way or form, in whether that's a League One or League Two or a National League job. Do you know what I mean? Or even another country. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest about it. So he probably thought, well, no jobs are really coming up. He was pictured at Tranmere, wasn't he, recently as well? So, yeah, I think it's more to do with the takeover. They're going down anyway. I don't think Ainsworth has left because he wants a relegation on the CV. I don't think he's left him in the lurch because of the club or the supporters. I think it's basically just a takeover. Let's talk about the game, because Birmingham were, quite frankly, again, at the best as well. Alpha May becomes the first Birmingham City substitute to score 2 goals since Federico Makeda scored a brace against Bournemouth in 2014. He scored on his United debut, and he was
against Villa as well.
Birmingham City have now won 26 matches this term, as many in their previous 91 games before within the Championship. That goes back the whole of last season, the last 45 games of the season before, because they won on the opening day in 22-23. I think that was against Huddersfield as well. Birmingham City have won 9 consecutive home league games at home in a single season for the first time since April 1971. Also 9 in a row in the second tier as well. Brilliant victory for them. We're running out of words to say about them. Boss, brilliant. Alpha May, brilliant performance all over. Ben Davies, a former Preston, Sheffield United and Liverpool man, getting the goal as well. A nice little flick on from him as well. For me, I'd go so far and say this. I think he's the best centre-back in the division. I really do. I think that, honestly, genuinely, I think they've got B, that they've got Clara. I think that Ben Davies is left-footed. He's naturally, he can progress up the pitch. I think he's absolutely mustard. I really, they'll probably think, oh, no, Clara. Genuinely, I've watched Ben Davies throughout his career, within the Championship mainly.
Where else have you seen him, Ben?
Sheffield United. He was brilliant there as well.
Come on, who else has he
brilliant.
Who else has he
Brilliant
played
victory
for?
with 4 goals as well.
You didn't even mention
great victory.
For.
Great victory. Shut up. Let me finish my point. 26 victories, 86 points. They're now 12 clear. This season was won 38 matches ago. They played 37. A superb victory. Great club, great supporters, whom I should hopefully see a few of in a fortnight's time.
Oh, look at you making friends. Nappers makes friends with blue
I get
nose.
what you mean with Clara, but Ben Davies, so good.
Well, it was
He's
you missed
definitely up there.
you missed out the biggest club that he's ever played for, Nappers. I don't know why you missed that little.
Preston.
Eh?
Preston.
No, he played for someone else on loan, didn't he? I don't know.
Liverpool.
No, he didn't play for Liverpool on loan.
Hey, mate, get onto the game, mate. We're running out of time here.
What do you mean run out of time? We've still got an hour to go.
Yeah, and we're on our third game, mate.
Oh, Christ. Okay. Quickly. Birmingham, fantastic, sick, boss, champion. They're great. They're going to win the league, aren't they? They could possibly win every league game they've got still to play. Outstanding, led, Alfie May coming off the bench. Good for Shrewsbury to get a consolation, but they absolutely bossed this game. Definitely Shrewsbury were not worthy of a point in this fixture. You know, they had 10 times the touches in the penalty area than Shrewsbury, 71.9% possession. They were absolutely toying with Shrewsbury. Loads of shots on target, loads of good play. This was Birmingham back at their best. Perhaps we're not, we sort of said it, they're not battered teams this year, but this was a real opportunity for them, and they absolutely took it with both hands and absolutely pumped Shrewsbury. It was good. They were very good. Shrewsbury, they were very bad. So therefore, I wouldn't say this is your average League One game. So I wouldn't put every performance on this one, because you're going to come up against better teams than Shrewsbury. But this was the epitome of a top end versus the bottom end League One team coming up against each other. Two teams that will be two divisions apart. Good win.
Yeah, absolutely. A really, really interesting affair and a feisty affair on the Fylde Coast was Blackpool 2, Bolton 1. A really, really hatred derby, this one as well, from things that have happened off the pitch with on it as well. And Blackpool got a really good record across their last 12 home Football League games against Wanderers, winning 6 and drawing the other 6 since a 2-0 defeat in 1977, December of that year as well. And Ashley Fletcher scored his 11th league goal of this season for Blackpool after being criticised, I do think, at times. He's a 1-in-3 striker and will miss more than he scores, but it's good to see him getting goals. Again, it's his now highest tally in the Football League campaign, also when he netted 11 for Middlesbrough in the Championship in 1920 as well. And Niall Ennis, how good has he been in, the former Plymouth man? Scored 6 in 12 now for the Seaside. Since his January arrival, after only scoring 1 in 34 at spells, at Blackburn and Stoke as well. He struggled, hasn't he? And Blackpool will be keen to bring him back to the football club. Blackpool now, they have Reading to come and Rotherham in the next week. They are 5 points off the playoffs. They've won 4 of their last 5. A side that geographically historically, always get better as the season goes on. They always seem to find a way. They won 10 on the spin once to get into the playoffs when they had the likes of Joe Hart signed as a young lad as well. Under Critchley, they steamed into the playoffs and won them as well. When they went up to the Premier League, they won 6 of their last 7, only losing to Newcastle 4-1, who won league that year as well. I mean, the likes of Gutierrez that year as well. Newcastle were unplayable that year as well. Blackpool, if they get in the playoffs, will more than likely win them. I don't know what it is. Different players. We say it over there. Different players, different season, different manager. The fans are still the same as well. But Blackpool just have something in these games as well. A massive game at home against Reading on Tuesday night, which they can close the gap on the Royals by just 2 points as well. We all hope Reading for the best, but it could free up a space. That's the absolute word. I'd like Reading to get into the playoffs just for what they're going through as a football club. But going back to this one, great victory for Blackpool. For Bolton, since you said automatic, they've lost 3 on the spin.
Sorry, Colin, my fault. This one, but do you really think Blackpool are going to get playoffs?
No, I don't. No,
I don't.
I think that they're in with a chance.
Giving it a go,
They're
aren't
in good form. 4 wins out of 5. The last 7 games of the season, they've got to play Reading, Rotherham, Stevenage. They've got to play Wigan, Wrexham, and Birmingham as well. And then the end of the season with what's it called? Bristol Rovers is the other one.
You should know this.
What?
You should know Blackpool.
The end with Bristol Rovers, I think it's realistic. I think they need to win 6 or 7, but I think there's better teams above them. But we're starting to see things in place for next year now. It's just those draws.
Yeah, they're a little bit like Charlton of last year, a little bit, aren't they? Hopefully, and Pompey the year before, where you maybe think they can do something special in sort of 8 to 10 months' time. But yeah, no, they were good yesterday. Niall Ennis, like you mentioned, Ben, been a massive part of it. The one man that I want to pick up, and yeah, he won't get the headlines because he's not scoring, but he's making them. Albie Morgan has been a phenomenal signing. Certainly know that my mate, who's a Blackpool fan, has been bigging him up over the last couple of weeks. He's on a long-term contract.
Bruce.
Eh?
Bruce.
No, Albie Morgan.
Albie Morgan, yeah, he's fan. They've got really good midfield. Albie Morgan, Lee Evans, and Sonny Carey creatively, and they've got pace of likes of Apter and Ennis as well.
And you've got a young centre back behind him in Ollie Casey, who's played a lot of
By
games.
the way, for Forest Green Rovers was fantastic, wasn't he?
Yeah. Coming from Leeds United, yeah, he was got an assist yesterday for Ash Fletcher's goal. But yeah, Ennis, that's sometimes the difference, isn't it? Sometimes when you add a goal scorer into a team that draw a lot of games, all of a sudden those drop points, no longer get dropped, and all of a sudden they're winning games. And look, Blackpool fans will maybe think they can do it. The gap as it stands is only 5 points. I know all the teams above and bar Stockport have got a game in hand on them. So be interesting to see. Bolton, like you say, ever since I've called them for an automatic promotion push, they've dropped off like a bit of a stone, having won back-to-back games, 3 defeats in a row. Yeah, this one, Ben, I don't know. I just feel like with Blackpool, that, like I say, they're just drawn too many games this year. They dropped too many points from winning positions, and also at home. Bloomfield Road last year, they won game after game after game.
They won 16 games there last year.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to be nowhere near that this year. I wouldn't have thought, even if they win the remaining ones that they've got, they've just drawn so many games. And Steve Bruce will need to rectify that. I think if they can get Ennis back in the summer, that goes a long way to rectifying it. If they can keep some of the big assets, you're talking about Ollie Casey, Albie Morgan, if they can keep him, build the squad. Not too many changes in and out, maybe improve the overall depth, because you're looking at the bench. Silvera's not made a massive impact since going in. Pennington's been okay for them. Jordan Gabriel, maybe he's been there a couple of years now. Maybe time to shift someone like him and CJ Hamilton on. Tom Bloxham off the bench. Jake Beasley's not massively cut it since going to Blackpool. So I think if Blackpool can add quality depth next season, we're talking about a team that could potentially be doing what Charlton are doing.
If you want to be successful against Blackpool, have the ball. Blackpool this season went through it. Beat Bolton with 29% of possession. Beat Barnsley with 44%. Beat Crawley at home with 31%. Beat Lincoln away with 40%. Beat Exeter away with 34%. Beat Shrewsbury, drew to Shrewsbury at home with 73%. Drew at home to Rotherham with 50%. And that's just a couple of the games where they've had half or more percent of possession where they've not won. Very much like, when they get the ball, they're very quick and on the transit. They can get the ball through the lines very quickly, use a pace, and cross the ball, get goals and stuff, and break a team down that wants to play. But give Blackpool the ball and sit in a very hard shape, they struggle to break you down, which, with the quality that they've got, should be doing better. For Bolton, it's 3 defeats on the bounce. Look, they went in it before the game, outside the playoffs by a significant goal difference away on Huddersfield Town, and 1 point behind. So that basically made it 2 points. They are now behind Reading by five goals on goal difference and 2 points. I still think it's pretty much the same. I think Bolton fans will believe that that's still the same. Look, they've got 7 games to make it up, 8 games in Bolton's case. They'll probably need to go and make 14 points. They need to improve. Look, I see there was bits of it that was okay. They had 16 shots yesterday. They had 4 on target. They had lion's share of possession. They were okay. It wasn't disastrous as well. You could hear the Blackpool fans on the radio station yesterday because they were actually doing a programme on BBC Radio Lancashire for updates. And you could hear them in the background, how good the Blackpool fans were yesterday.
Oh, they're amazing.
And when that North stand gets going, it is really phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look, I made a TikTok on them, and I'll always come out and praise teams that do well. And, this year I've been kind of critical on Blackpool not breaking a team down. I'm going to come on here now and praise Blackpool for how good they've been in recent weeks. I like Brucey. He's a good guy, and very, very openly and honestly. And it's nice to see that they were critical when he first went in the end of August, but it's nice to see that he's done a decent job there. And it's just a shame that when they went away, they didn't do him justice, and they lost 3 or 4 on the spin. It doesn't seem important at the time. Now, just imagine if you won one of them, just one of them. One of those. I think they lost 5 at Peterborough, didn't they? Was it 5-1 at Peterborough? As if they just improved there and won one, a couple of points off and could go in the playoffs. But it's if buts and maybes as well. Bolton, knowing derbies are absolutely pathetic. Stockport, the Wigan games, the Blackpool games. They've won 2 of the last 14 derbies, which is so poor. And Bolton have now lost each of the last 3 league games, and have lost 3 on the spin for the first time since September. A game I did watch on extended highlights was Stockport 2, Burton 1, after winning their first Football League meeting with Stockport County in 2010. Burton have failed to win and only scored once, which was yesterday in their last 3 encounters. Stockport got that early goal and then realistically dangled a carrot for Burton Albion in that one as well. It's a fantastic victory for Stockport, which, similar to Charlton, very far away from Huddersfield now with that victory, adding the gap from 4 to 7 yesterday, with goals from Wotton and Alafe. The second goal was unbelievable. Ethan Pye, the through ball to Alafe, who's in acres of space, just puts it under a helpless Max Crocombe, who did really make a good save from Alafe earlier in the tie. He spread himself really well as well. When Larson got one back with just a couple of minutes to play, Burton did have a bit of the ball and maybe thought, we can maybe get in here a little bit as well. For Burton Albion, yet again, Webster created a little bit behind Burrell, very advanced now. Webster been given a bit more freedom as well. Gary Bowyer said after the game that the performance and the fans' reaction basically was twined. Basically, the fans understand that they've been fighting. I think they've got 23 points from the last 15 games. Their issue is the points tally after 23 games. They're in trouble. They probably didn't have an eye on this one getting points from. Let's be honest about it. They don't, at the end of the day, as you were with another game played, the better goal difference on Bristol Rovers could come in to help. Stockport class deserve credit, and it looks like Dave Challoner's record of teams that when he's managing for a full season, getting into the playoffs, is going to continue with the Hatters.
Yeah, definitely. However, Ben, I think if you watch this game, I think it'd be crass not to say that Burton probably deserves something from this game.
I thought Burton had chances. Charlie Webster had a big one, didn't he? They just got blocked. I think it might have been Ethan Pye again who got the blocking.
Yeah, so you can either say it's great defending from Stockport.
Jack Diamond, sorry, it was Jack Diamond. I do apologise.
But to be fair, Burton created a plenty of chances for this game. Not to take anything away from Stockport, but sometimes when you are in the top 6 and you get the things bounced for you, don't you? And when you're in the bottom 4, as you well found out last year, Ben, that these things don't bounce for you, that you don't get the rub of the green, and 50-50 decisions go in favour of the team near the top. And pardon me, ultimately, this is what happened yesterday because, Burton had a hatful of chances. I know they played a slightly different formation. John Daddy Budvarsson not being available after that Shrewsbury game has massively changes the way Burton got to play. They went with just one up top in Roman Burrell with JJ and Webster just behind them. They played a box midfield. And to be fair, it worked. They got out of a few that maybe could have had. There was an argument for a penalty that on JJ that wasn't given. They had opportunities, Burton. They didn't cut Stockport open like a hot knife through butter, but they made chances enough to be in the game, enough to warrant taking something away from it. So, yeah, look, you look at the goals from Stockport. Carl Wotton, obviously, great anticipation for him for the ball to drop in there. Jack Diamond setting the ball up for Alafe as well. So, yeah, it was a decent one for Stockport. It's important, at this time of the year, Ben, as we both know, having been involved in the position of Stockport are in now, it's just important to pick up results rather than performances. Performances don't mean a huge amount unless you're trying to gather momentum for the playoffs. But I imagine that might well start in when we're talking about 2 or 3 games to go in the season rather than 8, 9 or 10 like we've got at the moment. yeah, they were efficient, they were ruthless, they had the chances and they took them. Burton were a little bit wasteful and didn't take theirs. And when you create a load of chances, you don't take them, ultimately you leave yourself open for other teams to create little chances but take them. And what we've seen of Stockport this year is that they have been pretty clinical in front of goal, having a goal scorer like Alafe, but having the creativity to feed him on a regular basis, like Ollie Norwood, like Nick Powell that came off the bench, like Collar and Fevrier and things like that. So, yeah, it's tough. It's particularly difficult for Burton because, like you say, that they're no further away, they're no closer to Bristol Rovers, given the fact that they lost themselves. But it's just a game less to turn it around in. And the mentality that I take from Burton, having spoken to David, is that they still feel that they can maybe get out of it. You know, they've got a chance. Bristol Rovers are dropping like a stone, who I'm sure we can come on to later. They've just got to keep playing, and they've got to take every game as it comes and hope that they can get over the line. But performances under Gary Bay have certainly showed them a lot of confidence that maybe they just might be able to do that.
Yeah, Stockport again, outstanding. And another team that were outstanding yesterday was Reading 3, Peterborough 1, a brilliant victory for Reading. And again, it's that man again in Harvey Nibbs, who I think was his 15th goal of the season yesterday, back-to-back times where he's got 15 goals in a season as well from midfield as well. Is outstanding. And Reading claimed the first Football League double over Peterborough United. What's your favourite double, Jake? A cheeseburger?
No, you asked me this last week and I told you what it was. Let me see if you remember. You asked me, who do you want to do the double over?
No.
Hey?
No, just real. You don't do double cheeseburgers anymore, though. You're a good lad, aren't you now?
No, I do doubles over Fleetwood Town instead.
No, you're doing double.
We did.
Double leg day, aren't you, normally?
Correct.
My worst day. Reading are unbeaten across their last 11 league games now. 5 wins, 6 draws. Just those draws that are stopping them from being phenomenal unbeaten run. But I always say win one, lose, draw one. The longest run since they got promoted in 2011-12 season as well. So phenomenal for them. Great form at this moment in time. And like I said before, if Reading get into the playoffs, it gives the EFL a real headache. Hopefully they can get their ownership sorted, as we are, again, just 34 days away from the end of the season, 5 weeks from completion. Another victory yesterday. They go to Blackpool on Tuesday night. But this Reading side, fearless, fight against the odds. They are giving those supporters something to be proud of. And yes, absolutely, everybody, give us a like and give us a subscription.
Yeah, this was a good game, Ben. I actually thought it was two really good teams coming up against each other. Peterborough obviously have been in particularly decent form over the last couple of weeks. Wins, obviously, since getting to the Virtue final. They've won away at Huddersfield, didn't they? They convincingly beat Charlton during the international break. So this sort of emphasises that Peterborough turned the corner. I think the performance yesterday, certainly Darren McAntony has taken positives out of it. I think also you're looking at a number of positives for Peterborough. Whilst they lost the game, Kwame Poku coming back and getting on the score sheet. Malik Mothersill continues his fine run of form. There was an incident, I don't know if you've seen the clip, Ben, where maybe Peterborough could have had a penalty. There was an incident with Ricky J. Jones where he gets pushed in the back, which I think could get given. Unsure the scoreline at that moment, but that could change the game. Obviously, we know football is a massive game of momentum, but you have to give credit to Reading. They played particularly well. Thought they were outstanding. Kamara, the young chap, he's had a breakout season. I think he's got interest from clubs in the Premier League, so that tells you that he's doing something right for someone of his age. Harvey Nibbs, like you mentioned, is just he is him in terms of Reading. He is dragging them over the line. He is consistently. It feels like he's not a Reading lad, but he's playing like he's one of the Reading boys and has come through the academy, and he just plays with his heart on his sleeve. And I think you can see that the effort levels that he's putting in whilst he's flying forward, he's equally as much helping his fullback recover and get back in behind. Charlie Savage as well getting on the score sheet. Obviously, we're coming to a point where they've got a couple of. I think they've got. Well, we've got until the 4th of April, haven't we, for some sort of deal to be struck for Reading to perhaps continue towards the end of the season, hopefully over the next sort of 4 to 5 days. I think it's by Friday. we might have some sort of movement on a sale with Dai Young, but knowing him, it probably isn't going to happen. It's unfortunate. It's particularly unfortunate. And what I don't like, Ben, is the fact that it's not particularly getting covered that often, is it? It's not really being spoken about, which is quite alarming. So, yeah, hopefully someone comes in and says he's running at the final hour, because this Reading group have got great determination, and look, they beat a good Peterborough side yesterday.
Been better.
This is a lot better than the Peterborough team that we saw right at the start of 2025, where they were tepid. I think I described them as the worst Peterborough side I've ever seen. They've certainly grown a bit.
They've still got a great cathedral, though. So
what, Peterborough?
Great cathedral.
Is it?
I've seen it, mate. It's brilliant.
Well,
one of the best in the country, I'd go as far to say.
I think you might well be seeing a better one in a couple of months' time, but that's just my
in London.
We're going to St Paul's Cathedral while we're at Wembley, aren't we? Yeah. It was great. It was a fantastic win.
Can we also just have a round of applause for Anne-Marie? What a lady!
What a woman.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What you can have something in common next year, you two. Hopefully.
What, me and Anne-Marie?
Well, Lincoln, if he's
allowed
to play at Lincoln.
If he comes back.
Yeah. I think the League 2 move would just be the making of him. Yeah.
Don't listen to Anne-Marie. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I'm sure he likes.
He likes the northwest.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, did well there.
That's correct. But he also likes Sue's bacon. Do you like Sue's bacon?
I think that it's all right, but it needs improving. And I've said to her, what we keep doing is when she keeps baking, I'll give her a review.
Carry on.
And that's it.
David, I'm going to take that as a
no.
Tick.
What was it? And let's have a review.
Come on. We've just said Sue's bacon on it.
I never said that. You asked me. I never said that.
You spoke about it, so it's a win.
I'm nearly on bingo with you. Anyway, I watched this game back, the extended highlights. Exeter 0, Wrexham 2. They got a penalty this week, Wrexham, which it was a stonewall penalty. I will say that straight away. Because I'm not being accused of being against Wrexham. I thought they were superb yesterday as well. A fine, team of champions performance. A team of side that you know is going to be at the right end every year at the level that they're at. Their 23rd victorious outcome, their 20th clean sheet of the season. Defences win championships and win promotion, and your attackers will win games. No doubts over Jay Rodriguez, said manager Phil Parkinson. The 35-year-old thumped home a 60th minute penalty kick to wrap up Wrexham's 2-0 victory away at Exeter. Again, all I will say is that I'm not calling them lucky, whatever, God, because you need this. Oliver Rathbone's strike was a fantastic one. It takes a deflection. Wrexham deserved to win the game completely and probably should have had 5 or 6. Sam Smith had one disallowed due to offside. I thought he was, to be fair, was wrongly off, to be fair, at the time I was watching it as well. But it takes a bit of a deflection, it goes in. That doesn't happen if you're in the form that Wrexham are in. And when Wrexham were struggling 7 or 8 years ago, their effort will probably hit a post or go wide of the target. And it's just sometimes those little fine margins that you get, but you get because you're a good side and you're a classy operator. I'm not calling them lucky, and they are deservedly where they are. Before any Wrexham fans come to me, yet again, even game, but they had a lot more shots on target, and it warrants the victory in terms of possession, in terms of shots, but they had that little bit more of class as well. A game closer to where they want to be. 39 games in, 77 points. That's 2 points a game. It's so, so good. And Wycombe have run them so close. They really have and deserve, humongous credit, these two, for being at the level that they are. Wrexham now have won 5 of their last 6 away games. You were calling them soft and flaky away from home. And that was your doubt for them not winning promotion. And it was warranted because they'd only won 3, drawn 4 and lost 5 of their previous 12 games, taking just 13 points across the 12 matches. They've now taken 18 points from half those games since in 6 games. sorry, from 21 games. Sorry, he's absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's a first double for Wrexham over Exeter since 1988, 1989, and Wrexham will feel well with home games to come up soon as well. They've got to go at the Abbey, then they've got Burton, Wigan, and Bristol Rovers to play before a trip to the seaside, Charlton at home, before ending at a certain city.
Everyone's favourite party destination.
How many teams have you seen? So I was thinking, how many teams have you seen like win promotion
against us?
So I've seen Wigan
3 and 1 season.
They did a loss against us.
Try 3 in 1 season. Hull, Peterborough.
Yeah, but Brendan Johnson went over too easily for me.
Who?
Brendan Johnson.
Brendan Johnson, did you just say?
Brennan, I said.
Yeah, Brendan Johnson.
I said Brendan Johnson.
Yeah, I've seen 3 teams in 1 season secure promotion against us.
Back to back, weren't we?
Yeah, horrible. Horrible.
Was that the season you went up? You were at the playoffs?
Yeah, playoff final. So Hull got promoted at our ground. Peterborough obviously got promoted after we drew 3-all.
Do you still genuinely think that Lincoln will get up one day?
I think we missed our opportunity, personally.
Do you? Do you think if you won every game now to the end of the year, you could get in, or do you think it's over?
No, we can only get to like 73 points or something. No.
That's still possible.
The only way Lincoln get promoted is if we get some money pumped in, because the way League One's going,
you win every game now at the end of the year, you get 71 points. Sure, get into the playoffs. That
never.
Maybe
we got 70. We got 74 last year, and we missed out by 2 points. So no. Look, Ben.
Season over.
Season's been over for about 6 weeks, mate.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you do. I'm going to compliment Wrexham now, Ben, because you say they come for you, but they certainly come for me. Yeah, massive win for Wrexham. Like you say, oh God, where's my thing gone? There we go. Here I am. I'm back again. Ollie Rafa, like you mentioned, Jay Rodriguez. Nice of him to score directly from the penalty spot this time, rather than missing. He's coming to the front now, isn't he? 2 goals in back-to-back games. Is what I'm trying to say. Big win. Yeah, they deserve this one. Like you say, it could have been 4, 5, or 6, and I don't think any Exeter fan could have battled. But the difference between Exeter and Wrexham yesterday was just the quality that Wrexham have got in that team. You're looking at Sam Smith, who's a very, very good League One player. James McLean has got promoted out of this league a number of times. Ollie Rathbone the same. Dobson, fantastic in midfield with Matty James, who I think was part of that Leicester team that got promoted to the Premier League under Nigel Pearson. Longman, obviously, they paid big money for him, so he's he's had a bit of time. He's taken a bit of time to get up and running, but I remember he scored. I think he set a goal up away at Crawley, and he's not really looked back. He's been a main figure on that right hand side. Keeping out someone like Ryan Barnett, who's had a particularly fruitful first half of the season. But yeah, no qualms about this. Wrexham absolutely deserved it. They were good. They're clinical, like Stockport. When we talked about Stockport, they're just clinical. They've got the quality. They've got a quality in depth. And you look at the players that are coming on: Barnett, Fletcher, Elliot Lee. Not to mention, Dan Scarr, promotion winner from this level, Jack Marriott off the bench as well. So. Yeah, this Wrexham team are very good, and since I've sort of what I said about them away from home, they've put their act up a little bit, and they're starting to get some wins. So yeah, look, Wrexham have got every chance to get themselves back to back promotions, and that's incredibly successful. You can say they've got the money, you can say they've bought the way to it, but you've got to do it first and foremost, and Wrexham will prove that they've done it.
Ricky, this is for Ben. Thank you so much for the donation first. Very, very kind. Linesman needs to beat Wrexham on the last day of the season, putting my money where my mouth is.
I assume that means Lincoln need to beat Wrexham last day of the season.
Yeah, Lincoln needs to beat Wrexham on the last day of the season. Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Just don't be winding them up and turn up to the last day of the show this time. That'd be helpful.
Oh, no crying emojis from an absolutely pathetic little blonde kid that plays offside. Yeah.
What an idiot. He was probably crying because he was in Lincoln, to be fair.
Carry on, it's your show. Come on.
Anyway, great victory for them. Your game next. I thought, well, this time what I did, I wanted to go a bit with the running order. The shot was Rotherham Crawley. Then start off with Charlton Huddersfield because it was a playoff game and a big game. Birmingham, we thought, well, it was a big scoreline, Ainsworth storyline. Blackpool Bolton was the running order as well. Stockport then was playoffs with Blackpool, with Bolton, and then going back before with Stockport County as well. Then Reading was also for the playoffs. Wrexham and top two rays. And Wycombe. I'm mixing them running order like a cat. Don't matter. It's my...
Sure show, mate.
Our show, sorry. I didn't really do any notes for this. I watched bits of it. I'm going to let you take over here. Wycombe 1, Lincoln 0.
A game of really low quality that was decided on a mistake. Ultimately, that was it. You look at the goal. It should, from a Lincoln point of view, if it's your team, you'd be gutted. Sean Rowan, bless him, he's only a young chap. He should certainly do better than what he did, but he's been really good for us this season. And you know what? Players make mistakes, Ben. You know, our season's finished. I'm not bothered about it. You know, it was a game of low quality. There was a particularly good battle up front between Richard Kone and Pordy O'Connor, which Pordy got the better of Richard Kone, someone who's, you know, they turned lots of money down from earlier in the year. It was a good battle. There were a couple of elbows in between Pordy and Kone. It was a particularly good battle. It was a low quality game. I didn't think Wycombe didn't carve us apart. They look like they've gone backwards from what I could see of what comparing them to when I saw them at Central Bank. But they took the one moment of quality. Humphreys, who's been a ridiculous player for them. You know, I think he's good enough to get into Ipswich team next season. He took it around the goalkeeper. I mean, we had a couple of chances. Eric Ring had one that maybe he should score, but Wycombe are the worst team to go 1-0 down to. Because then they've still got that Ainsworth aura about them, haven't they? They start to time waste, and the referee didn't particularly help. He was very inconsistent. So if anyone that's Jake blaming the ref on Lincoln losing, there's a big tick for you. I don't blame the ref for us losing at all. He was just very inconsistent for both teams. Maybe, you know, Wycombe probably should have had a penalty for a punch on Caleb Taylor to his temple, which probably is a penalty on fair reflex. Just there was an issue with handball. He gave one on Joe Gardner, and then about 30 seconds later, the Wycombe player caught the ball on the halfway line and pretty much just rolled it out of his feet and to tick it in. Pordy O'Connor shouldn't have been sent off either. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, Ben. I'm not sure you have them. It's never a sending off in a month of Sundays. So, and the problem is, you've known it, Ben. EFL just back up the refs. They don't overturn red cards very often. So I doubt we're going to win the appeal, and now we'll be without Pordy O'Connor for almost the remainder of the season. So yeah, look,
is that not taking a mick here? You start to think, don't you, this stage of the season, has X-player played his last game for this football club as well?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's horrible because you feel like, no, you can't. You almost want that last game of the season so you can say bye-bye to the good players.
Well, it's Ethan. That's the one that I'm worried about at the moment that I won't see. But look, I thought Michael got the subs wrong yesterday. I think if he had made the subs 5 minutes earlier, the goal wouldn't have come, because basically 5 minutes before the goal come, we were defending, we were very deep, and we just hammered the ball up. And Ben House, you know, he's not scored since the middle of December. Ben, you know, our only two centre forwards that have scored since 2025 have been Collins and McCarmer. So if it had brought Collo on, held the ball up, I don't know. Look, I'm not disappointed. I don't care. it's the end of the season. We've lost away at Wycombe, who are going for automatic promotion. We maybe shouldn't have lost it. We didn't deserve to win it. We probably didn't deserve to lose it either. So,
Do you
such,
think?
such
Do you
is
think
life.
with you being? You think you could be a bit of I don't know. When your season over a little bit, and I was thinking this with a few
Yeah.
teams. When your season's over, do you think you could get a few beatings now and probably a good side?
No, I don't.
You know that we
think
talk
so.
about a certain other club being the worst for in the division over 46 games. But for the next 7 games, can you see yourself being like that? Because I could with a few.
No, I don't think so. I think you certainly because we've got a big hand to play in the promotion race, don't we? Because we play a lot of the. I think we still play Wrexham, Stockport, Bolton, Reading. We still play. Well, that's nearly it, isn't it? So yeah, we thank you, mate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll drop like a stone. I think we've got some good players that will drive standards. I'd like to see Zane Okoro. Now that our season's over, he had a really good productive loan spell up at AFC Bournemouth in their 23. So yeah, look, big game on Tuesday. Get to see some familiar faces, obviously. Looking forward to seeing Joe Taylor score and celebrate against Lincoln, which will be fun. But yeah, I don't think we deserved to lose yesterday.
I was in the interview last week with Phil, and James Bolton said on the lines of, I don't want your season to be right. We don't want to finish 19th because then next season, and the manager also said this. So you get better players, and he said I've tried to attract players when I finished when Barrow were 4th bottom, and I've come in so hard to attract players.
Yeah,
and it is. You want the end of the season well as well, and that gives you a boost going into next season. You look at Doncaster in League Two, for example. They won. Yes, they lost in the playoffs, but they won 10 in a row, went 11 unbeaten, beat. So, you thought, there's something there for them next season. You want to end strongly to go into the next. And Burton have often finished seasons poorly, and then the next season's been a right hangover. Port Vale did a few years ago in the List Division as well, not 7-0 on the opening day. Then it goes into a bit of a hangover as well.
We only need to finish above one team in particular, mate. That's all I'm bothered about. We could come 18th, and as long as they come 19th.
Talking about teams that are quite easy to play against. Bristol Rovers 1, Mansfield 2.
Here we go, everybody. Ready for a tick? There we go. Sorry, Ben.
Come on. Whoa. It's like waiting for the fist pump.
Bristol Rovers. Unlucky lads. Never mind.
Right. Bristol Rovers 1, Mansfield 2. Before this, Mansfield had just won 3 of their last 26 away Football League games against the Gas. They've lost 15 of which and failed to score 4 of the previous 5 visits to them. Conte, Promise, and Martin all out for the season. Now, basically, if there's any Bristol Rovers fans in, I'm just going to say thank you very much for 500 grand because that Promise is so raw, he's so strong and powerful, and you can see it in his demeanour. His body isn't great. Now, from what my understanding, his body isn't great. He got injured a lot at Fleetwood. He's been injured a lot at Bristol Rovers. He came back from an injury. Seems to be back. I believe he's out to the end of the season. I know Conte is, which can I just say I think is a massive loss because I think he's a player that would get into a lot of the teams in the top 6, top 8 teams in League One. Really, I think he's fantastic as well. 6 points clear of 21st. What worries me for the Gas, they've got to play Birmingham, Bolton, who they have beaten, but it's away, Wrexham, Reading, and Blackpool, all in their last 7 games. So it's going to be tough. Just worry about with those big losses. It's a big loss for Mansfield. Look, that one for 13 games, back-to-back victories, as you were.
Yeah. Look, the members meant to be this place where Bristol Rovers we're going to be able to turn anybody over after beating Bolton and Huddersfield both there over the last couple of weeks. I bet they were expecting a big win against Mansfield, but quite the opposite. Lethargic, poor, look like they're playing with no confidence. Exactly what I saw a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure Calderon knows his best team. I mean, he's played hatful of formation since going in. 3 at the back, he's played 4 at the back, he's played 2 up front, he's played 1 up front with 2 wide men, he's played 5 across the midfield. I'm not quite sure Calderon knows how to get the best out of this, out of the better this group. And the problem is with Bristol Rovers, and it is in football massively, if you are losing games repeatedly, there is a mindset that starts to sink in. You can't help that. Bristol Rovers will have that at the moment. They'll just feel like they're in a bit of a rut and they can't get out. The one lad that I feel sorry for is Kofi Shaw, because regardless of everything that's going on around him, for someone who's 18 years old, he's been absolutely class since coming into the first team, having had a loan spell out at Yeovil. But everyone else, I don't think is good enough. Shaq Ford turns up when he feels like it. Rule Satoru is industrious but doesn't score the goals. O'Donker was a bit of a weird signing before they signed him. Sawyer's coming up from League Two. I mean, he did it maybe 5 or 6 years ago in the Championship for Brentford and West Brom, but I wasn't particularly sold on that signing when he came in. But yeah, you have to give credit to Mansfield and Caelan Vickers, who looks like an absolute tidy player. He really impressed me in a couple of games that I've seen him in scoring. I think he scored against Mansfield as well. It will feel good to Mansfield. They would have had that feeling that Bristol Rovers have got now that they're in a rut and they can't get out. And all of a sudden, back-to-back wins just completely alleviates their worries of being relegated, because now they are 11 points clear of Burton, in 14th, sat pretty handsomely in mid-table. And if you'd have offered Stags fans mid-table at the start of the season, they most likely would have taken that. So, yeah, Bristol Rovers, mate. I certainly think they're in it. I certainly think that they're not out of it yet. And like you say, with the games that they've still got to come, Ben Gill, who is a friend of the show, he reckons Bristol Rovers are going to go down. And do you know what? If Burton can sort this stuff out, if Burton can get a win on Tuesday night against Leyton Orient,
or Crawley.
Or Crawley, well, that looks a bit more Or
why is it? They're on the same points.
But I think Burton's got a game in hand, haven't they? That's what I'd probably suggest. But if Burton can win on Tuesday, Bristol Rovers are completely in the mud, mate, I think.
Yeah, agree with you there. We'll go through the games now. I always had a feeling James Brophy would score yesterday. You know when you're not scored for ages and you get a goal and then you
got another one.
Yeah, scored in consecutive games for the first time on his 314th appearance. He's netted in his last 2 more than his previous 197. So a lot that. Cambridge unbeaten across their last 5 Football League games against the Cobblers as well. Points not enough, 8 points in 8 since Harris came in, taken 23 points from the previous 31. Another point close to safety for Northampton, who, again, they've drawn 4 of the last 6, won 1, lost 1, steadily getting away, 7 points clear. Maybe they'll feel a win and a draw away. How many points do you think? 47, 48?
What, to stay up?
Yeah.
Yeah, 48, maybe 49%. Maybe, I don't know. I think the
a week can save you now. Bristol Rovers win back-to-back games, now they'll be safe. It sounds mad. 4 days can save your season.
Yeah, correct, massively so. Massive congratulations to our mate David, who picked James Brophy for his fantasy team this week. Did you do the same, Ben?
No,
I didn't have that much trust in him, but they scored from a corner. I've got to say, Cambridge, that's very unoriginal. Do your own thing and don't stop trying to copy us from scoring from corners. It was a pretty tepid game, wasn't it? I think there was an incident with Ryan Loft, which maybe he could have seen red for. But, a game of low quality. Cambridge look like they know they're going to be down. Northampton look like they are only, like you say, 1 or 2 wins away from securing their safety in the division. So, yeah, it was a pretty poor game. 2 pretty poorish sides. But I think Northampton will just be happy that they gained a point on Burton, didn't they? With Burton losing, so yeah, it wasn't a cracker, but it wasn't great.
No, absolutely not. We're doing well for time for once. Wigan won, Barnsley won. Great goal for the Reds as well. I was watching Cooper on Cam's video in commentary, and he was saying about the similarity of the goals that the He scored at the Community Brick Stadium. For Barnsley, season over now. It's been season over for about 5 or 6 games, hasn't it? Davis Keeldon with a great goal, with Melissa Samoa getting a goal for the football club. I think it might be his first goal for the club. Again, 30 minutes left in the game. A lot better from a Wigan point of view as well. 12 shots on goal, 7 of whom were on target. Both teams just want the end of the season, as you were, 1 each.
Yeah, pretty much Keeler Dunn's been the only bright spark in Barnsley's season. I don't know if you've seen, Ben, there was an incident with Jason Kerr. I think he's looking to stay on the pitch, where Barnsley are breaking and he just drags him down maybe 30, 40 yards from goal potentially. But yeah, I think positivity from Wigan to get back into the game through Johnny Smith getting the assist for Asamoah, but looks like Ryan Lowe used his bench pretty well yesterday, bringing on McManaman, bringing on, to change the game, Melissa Asamoah just 15 minutes before he ended up coming on and scoring. So yeah, Ryan Lowe looking proactive, looking to get results. We know Ryan Lowe is not a manager that will just sit on a defeat. He's very much this is something inappropriate, guns to the wall and pretty much just goes for it in every game that he's in. So yeah, good point for both of them. Certainly probably a better one for Wigan coming from behind, but both of these teams, season over, get us to August next year.
Absolutely so. Right, 15 minutes left. We'll have a Q&A. But before whom, predictions for Tuesday. How do we do on Saturday?
Yeah, well, you know how you did on Saturday. You did particularly well. So I'm here just boosting your ego, no doubt. Yeah, so Ben, you got 3 correct results and a massive 16 points this game week.
16, it's a good number.
Right, just you can steady, mate.
Points.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm all about. So the correct scores you got right were Blackpool, Bolton. You corrected. You predicted Blackpool to win that one. You also got the Exeter, Wrexham score spot on, as well as Wigan versus Barnsley. I got 1 correct score this week. Can you guess which one I got right, Ben? Any guesses?
I would say you got.
We just spoke about it recently.
Cambridge,
Northampton. I got spot on. So, yeah, I got 9 points. You got 16, which means that the 7-point gap that I had accrued over the international break has been cut. So, me and Ben both on 312 points with a couple of games to go. Don't say we don't provide you with any entertainment. So, we're going to go A-B style. We've got Tuesday. Obviously, we'll do a show on Wednesday night. So, Ben, you can go first for this one. And it's Barnsley versus Exeter City at Oakwell.
Barnsley. They won here last year, didn't they? Exeter. I'll go 2-1 Barnsley, though.
You little swine. That was what I was going to go for. Okay. I will go Barnsley 1, Exeter 0. Parvex literally just put it in the chat as soon as I said it. Brilliant. Right, Cambridge Wrexham, Ben, for me. I'm going to go Cambridge 0, Cambridge 0, Wrexham 2. Back-to-back 2-0 away wins.
1-0 Wrexham.
Ben, you are first for Blackpool versus Reading.
Blackpool 2, Reading 1.
I think Blackpool 2, Reading 0. Me first for Crawley, Peterborough. How reactive do I go? How reactive do I be? Yeah, they're good at home. Crawley 2, Peterborough 1.
Crawley 1, Peterborough 0.
Ben, coming to you for Burton Albion versus Leyton Orient.
Burton 1, Leyton Orient 1.
I think they're going to get something. Burton 2, Orient 1. Mansfield, Charlton. For me, I'm going to go Mansfield 0, Charlton 2.
Mansfield 1, Charlton 2.
Ben, big one. Lincoln versus Huddersfield.
Lincoln 0, Huddersfield 2.
I'm going to go Lincoln 2, Huddersfield 1. I've got a feeling we'll beat them. Stockport, Stevenage. I'm going to Stockport 2, Stevenage 1.
Stockport 2, Stevenage 0.
You love a 2-0 for Stockport. I was just teeing you up.
I did that for the game against Burton, I think, didn't I?
No, I don't think you did actually. No, I'll tell you what you went for. You went for oh yeah, you did go for 2-0. Apologies. Right, is it? It's you first for Northampton versus Rotherham.
Northampton 0, Rotherham 1.
You reckon after Steve Evans has done, they're going to pick up? I'm going to go 1 each. I think I've got a good back in a cobbler's draw. Wigan Bolton. Do I go 4-0 Wigan? Get it off the table. I'm gonna go. I think they're gonna win there for the first time. Lowe versus Schumacher as well. By the way, this is the brains behind the operation at Plymouth Argyle for the last sort of 6 years. I'm gonna go Wigan 1, Bolton 1.
Wigan 0, Bolton 1.
Ben, to you for Wycombe hosting Shrewsbury Town.
2-0 Wycombe.
I'm going to go 2-1 Wycombe. And then Bristol Rovers against Birmingham City. I'm going Gas 0, Birmingham 4.
Gas 1, Birmingham 3.
You love a 3-1 for Birmingham, don't you?
Yeah. Right. Get your questions in down below as well, and we'll get them in as well. Great to see Ryan Ordy implement his favourite formation. Davis Keeler done an excellent goal. Athletics impressed by not letting them play. Exactly. They are a really good thing as well. Leave a like on the stream. Yeah, let's get 100 of them. And subscribe down below. We're so close to 17,000 subscribers now. He has, to be fair, we'll give it him. And he's again, LA. Oh, yes. We need to talk about this. Any dates?
No, mate. I was gonna have one on Saturday night after I got home from Wycombe, but
Where do you meet these people? Like clubs and stuff?
Gym, mainly.
Yeah. Go to the gym, yeah.
Well, not just that, but like, yeah. Yeah.
Please don't tell me you're still on those awful dating apps.
I'm on one of them.
Bumble.
No, I'm on Hinge. Because Hinge allows me to be funny. So
does it?
Yeah, often
there's so many dry ones, isn't there?
Yeah. My favorite Sunday: F1, dog walk, and a roast. Wow, grow some originality, Lily.
What's that one on?
That's on Hinge.
Hinge.
Yeah, but you can. I'm sure you've seen it. I'll show you my Hinge profile so that you've got a. You'll like one episode.
I need advice from your Tinder profile, mate. That's all.
I've got a darts related answer in one of my prompts on Hinge, and it actually is it gets me quite a few responses. So on Hinge, I'm sure you know how it works. You can check, you can do a load of like prompts so people know what to talk to you about. And there's a prompt that says the one thing I'd love to know about you is, and what your darts walk-on song would be. I've had some really good answers, off a couple of girls, so it does work. You just got to be persistent with it, you know.
Let us know what your bingo cards were as well.
Would you like to know what yours was from David or
Sue has Bumble and Tinder.
Did Dave?
Would you say you've been on all dating sites?
Hey,
would you say you've been on all the main ones?
I've never been on Bumble.
I think that's awful.
Would you like to know what David's board was for you?
How many do you get for me? How many do you get?
I don't know how many he's got. I'm sure he can put it in the. So his board was.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go on.
There would be something about when he was at Fleetwood, 100%. That's why I didn't. Where for Tunica Turner,
yeah,
I said he was the former Waterford. Ben Davies didn't. Then I knew straight away because I always.
By the way, when you said former Waterford, I got a message in capital letters saying, "Former Waterford, what is he on about?"
Yeah. So, yeah, I reckon he had something about me seeing about how far I'd run today.
No, there's nothing about running.
Something about I was proud or a dig about Lincoln.
Abusing Jake. Yes.
Yeah. Something about Jake's age. Something about Sue will be on there.
Sue's food.
Something about bringing Fleetwood up when it's not relevant.
Yeah, the Fleetwood mention. We've got that.
Um,
Who did I try and get you to say his name?
Can't remember.
Sam Nomble.
Oh, fair enough.
You know, I was trying to ask you about Nathan Patterson.
Yeah, non-negotiables.
I was trying to get you to do the non-negotiables, and they've had a
Good week in training. Yeah.
week in training.
You wouldn't have got me on that.
There's a shout for Nippers. Obviously, we didn't get Nippers. And Kalinauskas was on there as well. But obviously, he's irrelevant now.
I made my own one for you.
Yeah. So let's.
Well, you know what I have for you?
Yeah, go on.
And before I tell you what David had for you, I'll tell you what David had for you.
Yeah, I've got it here. So
that's what I mean. David messed up there. David shouldn't have. David's done very well, but he should never have sent it to you because it's ruined the game. Because do you know what I mean? I would have got I got 8 out of 9, so I'm buzzing with that. And for me, I had for you.
Yeah.
Mention of the gym because I knew you'd say that unprompt. You always do. I knew you'd say Bristol Rovers and speed camera, and then I had something about Steve Evans' weight, and he said that within 25 seconds of the show being live.
Come on.
Then I had in the lines of poor refereeing decision, and then there wasn't much in the game because I sent these all to David. Then I had something along the lines of perspective of a good season overall, but frustrating, which you went on to. So that was 7 out of 9 as well. The other ones I said to him was about the cathedral, which you said before. And then my other one for you, which I said to David, was where is it? Where is it? Heard it before. So I had something along the lines of if you lost, then you just want the season over, which is a playtime. So I pretty much got 9 out of 9 there.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah. David had Cathedral, a mention of David, Lincoln mention outside the Lincoln game, speed camera.
The way it's going, mate, I might withdraw from that. Believe me.
Bristol Rovers.
Never do it again.
David, I don't think he's been able to tick this one off, but about Lincoln's playoff push. But you mentioned that, so that
I mentioned it to try and get you to get some.
Yeah, but I didn't say that. We would, did I? So, oh, what a day! I don't know. I've done an hour and a half, mate.
No,
given how I was last night.
Now I can actually mention what a day yesterday was. Oh, unreal victory! Unreal victory!
Oh, hold on, mate. You won away at 17th in League Two. Congratulations.
Yeah, mate. Sometimes you just got to take it as you come. To be fair, as you come. So 5 weeks.
Oh, we needed a Farley impression.
Oh.
Both of you wearing matching colour. You bought? Is that the tracksuit that I told you to buy?
No. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. There you are. Look, there's your proof that I was actually ill.
Yeah.
I was in a bad way, mate. In a bad way. I don't know how I've got out of bed today. Genuinely.
Oh, I wish I didn't get out of bed. I'm knackered now. I don't. On an away game, obviously the way I spend my Sundays is quite up and at it. I'm knackered now. It's always nice just to get the show done. I can relax for a couple of hours before I go to sleep and work tomorrow morning early. But we'll have a show Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday for another hour and a half. If you could like and subscribe, guys, we are currently 243 subscribers away from 17,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Thanks, so.
Yeah.
Part-time
supporter. There you are. Right. We're going to leave you now, but go and follow Jake's handles. Jake _Tong98. on twitter.com. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Keep being the best versions of yourself. And until next time, I'll see you later. Come on now.
See you later.